Thanks to a recent interview with Empire Magazine, we learned two of the major key details that will be presented in The Rise of Skywalker. Two questions that will be impacted in The Rise of Skywalker, one that is very much based on this brand new trilogy, and then another one that affects all three of the trilogies. These comments come directly from the co-writer of The Rise of Skywalker, which was asked in two simple questions: what is The Rise of Skywalker most about? And what are the two questions that are addressed? This was his response. One of them is a simple one: who is Rey? Which is a question that people have not only wondered about quite literally, but wonder about in the spiritual sense as well. How can Rey become the spiritual heir to the Jedi? We kept coming back to who is Rey. And how can we give the most satisfying answer to that, not only factually, because obviously people are interested in whether there's more to be learned of Rey's story, but more importantly, who is she as a character? How will she find the courage and will and inner strength and power to carry on what she's inherited? So this one absolutely makes a lot of sense, and it sounds as if they'll be retconning a lot of the stuff from The Last Jedi about what we learned from Rey's parentage, that Rey's parents were essentially nobody that handed her off for drinking money, with Rian Johnson later explaining that he wanted the Force to be something that wasn't passed along through bloodlines, but that anybody could tap into and anybody could use. However, by the sounds of this interview, it appears as if they're taking the history of Rey in a different direction, one that will explore who she is as a character as well as her backstory. So I'm really excited to hear what J.J. Abrams has come up with. In the same interview, they asked an even bigger question though about The Rise of Skywalker and the culmination of the Skywalker saga. This was the quote. The second question is, how strong and how powerful is the Force? It sounds a little simple, but actually when you get down to it, that is the sort of Zen Korra that we really wanted to meditate on, not literally in a yoga process or anything, but like, how do we discuss what is the Force and how strong is the Force? Those two things and those two questions were really important for us to answer. But there it is, my friends, the two major questions that will be addressed in The Rise of Skywalker are, who is Rey and how powerful is the Force? I hope that by the how powerful is the Force comments, it harkens back to Emperor Palpatine and discusses the limits of the Force itself, perhaps through characters like Luke Skywalker and Darth Sidious, characters that are no longer physically living but are still coming back to influence a galaxy far, far away from the ethereal plane. It'll be interesting to see really what are the limits of the Force itself, as it's not a concept that has been explored in any other Star Wars movie. What exactly this means though is again very, very cryptic, but exploring the true limits of the Force is something that hasn't been done in the films at all, and something that's only been briefly touched upon in books and series like the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. But again guys, what are your thoughts on these two major questions? And how powerful do you guys think the Force is in The Rise of Skywalker? And who is Rey? And are these two great questions to focus on The Rise of Skywalker, or would you have liked the filmmakers to focus on other larger big answered questions? If you guys could take the time to like this video, that would help out a great deal. Thank you as always so much for watching. May the Force be with you and have a great day.